So in this lesson, we'll be going through the alphabet, the different letters, and I'll give you some information, extra information about the letters, inshallah. Firstly, we start off with Alif. Notice how I say it? Alif. Alif. That's the name of the letter. Now, depending on what vowel you put on it, it could either be A, I, U. There are three different sounds. A, I, U. And that's a glottal stop. Comes from the throat. Like you say, apple. That's with a fatha. Hamza with a fatha. And when I say Hamza, it's the Alif and Hamza. And we'll speak about this Alif and Hamza in more detail later on. Next, the Ba. Ba is very straightforward. It's just like the B sound in English. It's very simple. Ball. Big. Bull. Next we have the Ta. T sound. Tap. Tip. Took. Okay, so it's just the T sound. T. Next we have the Tha. Like the word thumb. Thick. Now next letter is actually found in English. J. Jim. J. J. Like we have the word jam or gym. And you'll find actually some dialects that butcher this. They'll say G, like green, G. No, the actual is J, J. Some actually go for a J, 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 J. That's wrong. It's J, J. Then we come to Ha, Ha, Ha. Not her, not help, like help. We'll learn this later. The Ha, not Ha. Ha. Like we have the word hub, hub, or hil, hil. So it's more stronger. It's got this strength to it. There's actually a glottal sound here in the throat. Ha, ha. Now, when you put your hand here, you should feel your muscles being used. If you don't, then it's the ha, ha, ha. That's wrong. It's ha, ha. There should be some movement in your throat. You can feel the muscles being moved. Okay, ha. Next is the kha. Kha. It's higher than, it's still in the throat area, but the top throat area. It's just we're about to enter into the mouth, but not. Now, I hate to use this example, but it's like you have something stuck in your throat and you want to get it out. Kha, that's a kha. Like some languages use the kha. In English, you don't use kha. Example of kha being used is the word khalaqa. Khalaqa, which means he created. We also have khaliq. Kha, so it's kha, kha. Both are used in Arabic. Kha, kha. Depending on what comes after it. So even the sounds sometimes change. So it's important to know this. This is all this is taught in more advanced tajweed, the art of recitation of the Quran. Now, dal is just the D sound, like dog, dip. Very straightforward. Then we get that, like this. Now, the next one is the ra. Ra. It has a bit of a rolling sound. Ra, ra. Like you roll it, but you stop it before it just goes out of hand. It's like you're revving a car up. Not rrr, rrr. That's wrong. Ra. Now let's use the word, for example, rub. It wasn't rub. Rub. It was rub. Another example is rama. Rama. Another word is rakaba. Rakaba. It wasn't rakaba. Rakaba. Oh, see that? Rakaba is wrong. Next we have the zay. Or some say za. It has two names there, the letter. Some say zain. Zain is not correct. And that's just the Z or the Z sound in American. They say Z as Australians, we say Z, but it's the same sound, like zoo, zebra or zebra. Next is sin, which is just the S sound. For example, seb, sel. That's very straightforward. Then we have the sheen. In English, it's the SH sound. Sh, shoe, shoot. Next sound is tricky for English-speaking people because it's something that's new and it's similar to the scene, but it's a deeper sound. Notice my as opposed to is a scene, is a sod. I'm going to pronounce two words, one with a scene first and then with a sod, just to show you the difference. Sem, some. Notice the difference. Sem, that's the scene sound. Some, that's the sod. For example, we have the word sub. That's a sod. Seb, that's the scene. Okay, now the next letter is a very unique letter, the Dad, Dad. And some people say, when they refer to the Arabic language, as Lughatu Dad, the language of Dad, because it's a unique letter in the Arabic language, Dad. So, ilb, your tongue either goes on one side or the other when you do it. Ilb. You can actually, it goes into the side of the mouth. Ilb, ilb. Like, for example, dalla, dalla. And the word dalin. Ilb, b. As opposed to da, which is the D sound, the dal. No, it's b. It's a bit hard to pronounce. You need practice. Now the next letter, ta. It's a heavy T sound. So unlike ta, it's ta, like tariq, teen. This is not found in English. T, ta. So your tongue goes up more. T is more. It's open. T. It's coming from the top of the mouth. Okay, just the difference there. And then va, it's a deep sound. Va. It's more deeper. And same thing, it goes more back, the tongue. Va. Ain. Next is ain. That's a deep throat sound. It's not found in English. Not I. A lot of people find difficulty with these letters because they're not used to pronouncing them. This is something new to them. The muscles that are used to pronounce these letters have never been used, so they have not been developed. It takes sometimes years for development. So it's something that you will need to practice over and over again. As Muslims, for example, will recite Quran regularly, and a person who does that will improve his recitation. And the more effort you put in, the more rewards. So it's not something that, it needs to be perfect, because some people cannot get it perfect, no matter how much you try. The important thing is you're trying and your heart with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, for non-Arabs, no matter how hard you try, it's going to be very difficult, especially the older you get, to actually get it perfectly. You're not going to get it perfectly. But that should not in any way dissuade you from learning this. This is actually an honor that you're actually picking up a new language, and trying to learn it. So there's a lot of respect for that. I actually congratulate you for that. It's a great effort that you've done. Okay, then we get the rain. It comes from the throat area as well. It's similar to the kha, where the kha is, when you gargle, you can think of it that way. Okay, so as an example, the word غني, غني, غريب, غريب. Next is the tha, which is the F sound in English, like fish. That's straightforward. Just F sound. Next is the qaf. Q. This is not found in English either. It's like the K sound, like the K, which we'll speak about just later. It's like the K, but it's more deeper. K is more outside, and Q is more throaty, in the throat area. Q. It's like in more back of the mouth here. Q. Like Quran, not Quran. I know that non-Muslims or English-speaking people say Quran. It's actually Quran, Q, as opposed to Ka, which is the next letter, the Kaf. The Kaf is just a K sound, K, like the word king. And even the C sound can have that letter, like cab. So it's a C there, but it's got the K sound. Next is the lam, which is just the L sound, like the word lamp, lit. Meme is the M sound, man, for example, mint. Then we have the noon, which is just the N sound. That's straightforward, like the word nil. That's very straightforward, noon. Ha, that's just the H sound, like hat. The wow is very similar to w. It has the woo sound, like wind. Then the ya has the Y sound. For example, yellow. Yeah. The more you read, the better you'll get. The muscles will be activated and they'll be developed and you'll become better.